Hey everybody, how's it going? How's it going? Morning Monster. Oh, I got the Strawberry Dream today. And whew. Anyway, UPS. I'm announcing earnings. And here we go. Looks like we're down a couple bucks on UPS. Beating on the top, missing on the bottom. And getting a little bit of negative reaction. So what's the deal here? What's the deal? Is this so everything moves by cardboard, right? I mean, this economy runs on cardboard. I've said that in shows in the past. These brown trucks deliver a lot of cardboard. Arguably, I mean, a lot of cardboard. Almost everything that UPS handles is wrapped in cardboard, and it touches a lot of people. A lot of people. A lot of goods, a lot of things move via UPS, and this doesn't look like the most bullish chart. I have to say. Look at this. We started out back here in 22, and we just keep declining, keep declining. Have we made a bottom? Or is this part of a bigger, like, recession thing? I don't know. This definitely doesn't look like positive action for the economy to me. We can contrast this a little bit with the main competitor, FedEx. A little bit different business, but very much similar. FedEx bottomed out down here in September and is kind of ridden with the economy up here. Tale of two different stories here as far as shipping goes. And FedEx moves a lot of cardboard too. And I don't know. It's definitely a mixed signal, but neither one is pushing all-time highs. And UPS definitely beat down kind of compared to FedEx chart. If UPS was doing a comparable thing to FedEx, we'd be up in this zone. And if it was doing something comparable to the S&P 500, we'd be up in this zone. We're not getting that right now. It's kind of pieces of the puzzle, I guess you might say. Now, did it get too cooking over here on the back of COVID? Everything moving via cardboard. Now we're paying the price and retracing here. Possibly. Maybe that was too much hype on COVID. Now we're just resting at the 618 there. Potential measured bounce, but I don't know. Just a chart I wanted to bring up because you look over here, FedEx didn't go on some massive pop out of COVID. They were already pulling back. Kind of bottomed out right there. It's definitely a story of two different charts. Oops. I totally messed that up. Come on. UPS and some outperformance on UPS. Go down to line them up on COVID here, kind of. You can see the underperformance as of late. FedEx definitely got beat down. If anybody remembers, that's when they kind of announced things weren't looking too rosy. And then that was the bottom. As I say, the chart tends to lead the better news for a company by about 6 months, sometimes longer. But we've kind of bottomed out there and then started rallying, even though FedEx was reporting kind of not great news. And now we're seeing UPS still kind of languishing here near the lows. And even when you line it up last year, start of this year, FedEx still outperforming. So it's kind of interesting. what can you read from it? Well, there doesn't seem. Both of these are going to be rocking and rolling higher if we have a strong economy, right? Like if we're moving a lot of goods via cardboard. Now, you can kind of see they were flying very parallel here into 21. 22, UPS continues down while FedEx kind of churning sideways. So, I don't know. It's yet another indicator on the list of things to kind of keep an eye on. You know, my other bellwethers for the economy, CAT. I mean, look at that. CAT indicates we're rocking and rolling. And DE, on the other hand, not so rocking and rolling. So we're getting some mixed signals on a couple of my other bellwethers for the economy also. So we're definitely unclear here. I mean, maybe it's like everything else. It's a story of haves and have-nots, winners and not so good winners. And why CAT and DE? They make construction equipment. When people are investing in making their business stronger, you need construction equipment. You got to build some stuff, right? So CAT and DE kind of bellwethers I watch there. And when consumers are feeling pretty good, they buy a lot of stuff. Stuff comes in cardboard. That's why I watch UPS and FedEx for those. And when you're getting mixed signals across a couple of my bellwethers, makes me stop and wonder what's going on. All right. Anyway, jumping over here, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything at all. No stuff from gurus. Don't buy stocks. Don't buy options. Don't buy forex. Don't buy futures. Don't buy cryptos. Don't buy treasuries. Don't buy bonds. Don't long them. Don't short them. Don't trade them. There's a substantial risk of loss in all trading. If you desire personal financial advice, that's not what I do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. That's not my game at all. I'm not saying, hey, go buy, sell. That's not my game at all. You need to hire and consult a financial advisor, but make sure you trust them because, let's face it, most people out there are just trying to make some of your money into some of their money. And as we look over here at the calendar for the week, today is Tuesday, and we've got Flash Manufacturing and Services PMI coming out in about 20 minutes. So that'll be while we're live, probably. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. It looks like probably maybe stuff's getting a little better on the Flash Manufacturing. Maybe. It's been through a pretty crap kind of couple years here, if you look at it. And the Flash Services, just hovering. This, I mean, we don't make stuff in this country anymore. Not really. Not like we used to. That's just not looking super hot. I don't know. We'll see where we get to. This is very unclear at the moment, is why I keep saying I don't know. I don't have a strong feeling we could be topping out. We could get another year of topping out. And we could roll. It's very cautious period for me right now. A lot of this stuff. So anyway, what's popping? What's dropping? What's moving around this morning? We're getting ES up off the lows. Now look at this. This is interesting. Look, we've now made a set of higher lows. 1, 2, 3, 4 higher lows. Got them coming in here. And you go off this is always my trend lines are so difficult to me because you can't go off that one and touch that one. And if you go off the candle bodies back here, and you kind of hit the tails, but you don't hit the bodies. And trend lines are the least reliable of technical indicators, but we have a trend line of higher lows. And then we also have a trend line of higher highs so far with 2. These are slightly converging at this point, trying to push through that 30-minute roadmap line. I was on the 15-minute yesterday morning, saying that we should be cautious if we start breaking through. we could push on up, start testing the higher time frame roadmap lines. This is indicating we busted through the 30-minute. We back tested it, spent pretty much all night testing it. Now starting to pull ahead. Today, if we break out above that high, probably going to go on up. On up right here, next resistance, next higher time frame, right in here, just above that high, right at the top of this little mini channel looking thing, whatever you want to call it. And so that puts us up here around 50.80. Start getting through that. Going on up. Next time frame. Way up here. All the way up here about 51.58. And then if you go to the daily's down below us. So this is just a kind of a smaller time frame pullback. Not quite a daily pullback. We didn't make it. Didn't make it down here. Came up short. Came up short. Could that be it? Could. Found support where we had a consolidation all the way back in February. So we've basically gone nowhere for the last 2 months. Took a trip up, took a trip right back down. Gone nowhere. It's kind of what the market does for us sometimes. We needed a correction though. We needed that. Needed to shake out some money, get some rotation, so we can actually find some things to get into. And NQ came really close to the roadmap line, really darn close. And then Russell over here actually hit it. So Russell is the one that I've got my eye on right now, because I'm just going to remove that one and remove that one as far as alerts go. Got to set up something new. Click here, that high, that low. The warning zone. The warning zone is right here. I'm going to put my alert right here. 2077-ish. Actually, probably should pull that down to the bottom. Be conservative on your move up. Could bounce off the bottom. So right now, I've kind of expected this to come up to this area. That could take S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. That's what these were. This is S&P 500 futures. This is NASDAQ futures. This is Russell futures. If we rally right up in there, turn down. If we do rally up in there, it could take ES and NQ to higher highs on their respective charts. Higher than what we had back in April. I mean, early April. It's still April. We find resistance on Russell, though, going higher right here. Turn down again. That's going to indicate a bigger bearish move is potentially going to be playing out in the market. This was a pretty fast retrace right there. Arguably just 3 waves right into the roadmap line. Now, if we get above this zone, we could push higher, make new highs on Russell, and that would take ES and NQ higher. So this is kind of the clearest indicator out of the 3 that I watch. Why do I watch all 3? Because sometimes they tell different stories. It's like on the way down here, NASDAQ signaled we were going to get this correction for, how long was that? We started going sideways and then we broke down. So we started signaling that for almost 3 weeks. Pushed down, we came back up. It was, I guess, the final real indication there took almost a month. Or, we went sideways for a month, came up with that lower high right there outside of the channel, and then we took this spill. So that NASDAQ was signaling this for quite a few days. And then we just blasted down. Now, potentially hunting for a bottom here. Potentially. No thanks. I don't want to try out AI features on my browser. Sounds weird. I don't need my browser doing things for me. Just show me the web pages. So that's where we are right now. Starbucks, look at this. Potential reversal right off of that. Right off of that low. We can get back above the roadmap line. Potentially a much larger go higher. Looks like XME crushed it. Stopped out. XLP. Potentially pushing higher. Oh, yeah, look at that. That is a potential roadmap bounce off of the roadmap line. Move down, found support, moving back higher, breaking through the 618. How likely is that? 86% likely that we're going to go up here to around the 7750 area, right up there. 7725, 7750. So we make like $2 off that pretty quickly. Well, usually takes 58 bars, so quickly is all relative, I guess. This one looks like it's on a faster tear, though. That's consumer staples. Not usually a big mover, but that's indicating XLP gonna take on off. 86% likely to go tag that based on 29 past trades. Alrighty, moving on. Gold, right down near the zone there. I'd kind of like to see this push just a little bit lower, but that could be it. It did the thing I was looking for it to do right there. Did the thing. We got a very symmetric pullback. See this initial flash down right there, right off of that high. Bottomed out this morning, overnight. That could be the end of the correction for gold right there. Got my eye on it. Got my eye on it. Breaking above the 5 minute. You know, this is same deal all the time. If you want this roadmap line, link is in the description. Just click the more button. It's like $5 is what I sell it for. But if $5 is still too much for you, go watch it on the video. I've got some videos back in the catalog that show you my favorite indicator. You know, search for it, and my favorite right there, the roadmap line. Use it all the time, every day, every chart, and just about all my systems are based off of it too. Funny enough. So, Bitcoin getting a little pullback, but did we do the bottom? Did we get this correction wrapped up? Is this going to push higher? Are we going to break out? Big questions, and I don't have a lot of answers for you at the moment. It's we're just kind of in this wait and see. We've busted above the 30 minute. We busted above the 1 hour. We even poked above the 4 hour, back testing it right there. And the daily way below us, similar to S&P 500. So potential signs for getting continuation. Looks like it was just a smaller time frame correction here. We hit once, twice, made a lower low. Now, can we get continuation? We got to get above all this stuff, all this consolidation we did for, gosh, man, since February. Just been chopping in the zone. We made the highest high here, got the retrace, and we just been kind of sitting here, messing around. We did break down below that trend line of lows. Potentially, so here's the one cautionary thing. If we stay below this right here, indicates that we could get continuation down right there. Yeah, it could be. This could have been, instead of this being the final move here, which is very proportional and kind of fits. You can see we tagged it very, very balanced right there with the tag and then the reversal. But if we break back down below that again, we hold in this, don't get up through here at all. Don't get up through that trend line. We can extend it on down, and we could be hunting the daily roadmap line here. And why did I draw the arrow as big as I did? Right there. Right there. Could go visit 50,000 if we don't get some more. Like, this is one of those times where it's unclear. We need more price action higher. If we don't, could push it lower. Now we have lots of catalysts. We had the halving event. That's like the starting line. We've got Hong Kong approving their ETFs, and that's going to soak up a lot of supply out of the market. And dun 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 dun. Where'd it go? Oh, there we go. I clicked off of Discord. I'm gonna pull up something real quick. This is gonna be a way lot of numbers. You're gonna be like, whoa. It's gonna be a lot of numbers. I'm telling you. You ready for this? You ready for this? Dun 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 dun. Pull this down just a hair. Get all the numbers on here. Right here. Look at this. So these are the average buying of these ETFs, not counting China at this point. As you can see, 10% history, 25%, 50%, 75%, all of history here, up to 69 days after halving, which was like this weekend. So the amount that we've been buying up, 389% of what was mined. And that was at the higher payout rate. At the current payout rate, this is basically double. This now doubles. And if you look at a PP of 21x, 56x, 112x, this would be the average Bitcoin per day after 69 days. You know, these prices. And when you look down at the estimates here, moving forward, here's your averages. Like this would be a 21x, a 56x, and a 112x. Right here. This is the range of potential prices here, the low end range. And what I find interesting is these two in particular down here, the lower and the middle, line up almost exactly with the prices I've been saying are my targets based on a whole different system. So confluence of targets is what this is telling me right here. There's a whole lot of math for right there. An average price target, 162 and 323, which is pretty much in line with my 157 and 300, whatever it was, 300, 314, 320, something like that I've been looking at on my Bitcoin chart. And, you know, you may be like, well, where is that Bitcoin chart? Well, it's right over here. Bitcoin USD, popping into all-time history. And we zoom out a little bit, and zoom out a little bit, and zoom out a little bit. And, oh, cool. It's not labeled on this one. One of these charts has it labeled on BTC USD. See if it's this one. Nope. It must be on a different chart. Probably on. Just have to pull up charts, and so I got too many charts, I guess you might say. There it is. 10x, 20x. Giant target. 157, 314. It's been my range since back here. Why is that the range? This low right here, typically, the historical pattern, we go 10 to 20x, whatever this low was. So 10x that low, 157. 20x that low, 314. Right there. That's where those targets come from. So that range, that's my primary expectation. Like this will be kind of like weak sauce. Like, oh, that's all we got. This will be pretty good. And then apparently, based on the other numbers, a potential for almost 600,000. That'd be a little crazy, in my opinion, but possible, entirely possible, all possible. I don't think we're going to see more than 6 figures though on this run before we get another 80% drawdown. Just throwing it out there. Just don't see that as the likely thing that happens. All right. Moving on. Ethereum looks a bit more bearish to me. Still just not getting there. Now, does the SEC got a big slap down yesterday. Two lawyers quitting. I guess their takedown of what was it, DEBT, crypto exchange kind of went sour, and 2 of the main prosecuting lawyers or whatever for the SEC quit. And so are they going to classify Ethereum as a security, or are they going to take a step back, keep it as a commodity, and approve the spot ETFs here in May? That's the question. That is a question. And I went ahead and lightened up and just waiting right now. Just waiting to see what happens. If we push on down, I may add back, but I'll have to make that judgment call as I go. I don't have I'm not a night catcher, right? If this starts just plummeting out here with a big red candle like this, I'm not just a buyer down here until we show some sort of reversal or support, some sort of solid support. The dollar right here, just turning in this zone we've been in for several days. Just parked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days parked right there. 7 days. We were trying to push higher, pulled it back down, just been sitting, bunch of dojis, and the target zone right up here around 108.50 area. That would make this all clean, but we could just break down here and go lower. Entirely possible. Entirely possible that we just go lower from here. Spotify, big winner today. Winner, chicken dinner. Popping on earnings. Don't have the report, but came in strong. Let's see if do we have any news? Yeah, that's probably right there. Let's see. More news for Spotify. Did we get the... There we go. Looks like we reported a 197. Why report in euro? What the? This must be from Europe. And more active monthly users, 19. Wow, up 19%. A lot of music listeners. Greater monthly users. Yeah, pretty strong, my friend. And that was good news, I guess, for Spotify. It's been ramping off, yet we're still well below the prior high. At this point, we are about 70% likely to go visit this 469 area right up here. Last time we did one of these bounces, right back here, much smaller. We went on a mega extension, way up here, the 2618. So if we were to extend again, that kind of move, be up here, almost 900 for Spotify. Seems a little lofty for the current environment. I'd definitely go more in this zone. But, right now, $300 to 469. I mean, we're talking, that's a pretty darn good upside right there. Almost a 60% upside just on shares for Spotify. Now, how long would that take? Probably going to take a while, right? The rest of this move probably going to take a while. This took a good long while, almost 2 years to correct here. We could see this move up from the low taking, 3 times that long. So it could take 6 years. So we could be looking out here quite a bit longer. Could be 26, 27 before we get all the way up to those target zones up there. Now, the trajectory we're going on probably take us much quicker, maybe by the end of this year. But that's the uncertainty. Time is the hardest part of this whole thing. DHR. Shares are a viable option on that trade. DHR potentially doing the roadmap bounce thing right there. That pullback, that support. Bang. Jump it up. 266 would be the target. Maybe like JT. What are the statistics on this one? 86%. Pretty solid. We don't have the daily close up here yet. These are based on the entry is the daily close above the 618. So a daily close up here would get us the entry target right up there, 265. All right, moving on. HIBB. That one popped almost up to the target right there. Not too bad, not too shabby. 88 and then 95 above that. NVIDIA Getting a little resty rest here. I kind of thought we might see, due to the nature of this drop, we might see a retest of this zone right here on NVIDIA. If we can hold, if we hold below that, we're probably going on down to the roadmap line. If we bust through, probably taking a trip on up to like 1,033, possibly 1,100 on NVIDIA. And I don't know any current T-Swizzle songs, so you can say that, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, why did I say T-Swizzle? Because they call my Steven, my manager or guy, my team manager, I guess you say, one of the coworkers on the team replaces his picture with Taylor Swift all the time on Slack, and it's pretty funny. So there's a lot of talk about Taylor Swift. It's so fun. Boom. That one hit the target. Look at that. That one's game over. I have to go close my position on that one, I guess. And back to it. SMCI took a big drop. Almost hit my target here. I don't think that one's done, honestly. Now, it could rally right back up. And that rally back up. I've moved this multiple times, and it does not stay over here. That resistance right there at the top of those candles. And come on, delete, delete, delete. I say, delete, I say. At this point, we've got a potential resistance right in this zone. Right here. If we get above that stuff, above these highs, probably going on up here, 1364. If we turn down at that zone, probably coming down here, back to where we consolidated for a good little while late last year. So far, that looks like a giant head and shoulders, and the result could be further downside. MBIX, Bioscience, skip. SAP looks like it may rally back up, find resistance at this zone, and turn down for another leg. That would be like an echo type situation where they made that move, and then we make this move right down to the roadmap line. KMB, Kimberly-Clark. It's been a lot of sideways, but if we can close up here in this 130s, above 130, gosh, let's go up. Let's consider this consolidation above 138. I'm going to say probably tips the odds. We might get a rally on up to 156, but if we go fill the gap, not looking so hot. GE, just consolidating right up here. There's SoFi hitting my targets. Dun, 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 dun. Nice. I like it. Meta. Looks like that. We've got the earnings on this one this week. Tomorrow in the evening. We've got Tesla coming up this evening. And I got 30 minutes of awesome coming up this evening. So I'll be live at 5. Set your alarm on your phone. 5 p.m. I'll be live at 5. Doing 30 minutes of awesome. And we can look at what happens on Tesla. I think it's the first time I've ever had a live show while Tesla earnings were going on. So I won't be able to sit here and listen to it, I guess, since I'll be doing requests. Anyway, there's Meta, and that looks like it might want to come back to the roadmap line. We do have support right here. Right there, that's support, and then support down here. So we could go fill the gap, or we could bounce off this and go right up here. It's kind of like an unclear, uncertain path, and it's like Down to 400, up to 560, 570. I don't know. Which one would I give odds to? Unclear at this point. Since we're above supports, maybe go pop this, but we very well could dip down to here. We're seeing a lot of knee-jerk reactions on things that have been high flying. LMT going for the breakout once again. Trying really hard. Got to get above these highs. Got to get above these highs to go higher. Now, if in fact it can push through all this resistance here, looks like we have a 535 upside potential on LMT at this point. FNGU, well, that accelerated quickly. Right there. Pacheco. Got there. See, this is an indicator. This one's incredibly powerful as far as indicating for a leverage thing. Kind of indicates when NASDAQ's done. This could indicate we're done. We could fart around here for a couple days, a couple weeks. We did that back here. Kind of chopped and chopped and chopped and chopped before we finally took off. Finally ramped right up through all the targets. Now we're back to the roadmap line, resetting this whole pattern again. And if we're going to go super bullish again on FNGU, that next upside target, 381, possibly 417, right there. Options, there's no options on this thing, or at least there weren't, or haven't been. This would be a shares only type of deal. And it's 3x FANG, so that is leverage and highly dangerous. Highly, highly dangerous. PHM, looks like it wants to reach down to the roadmap line. And game over as far as the trade is. So I have a new thing I built. New trade I built. And I don't even have... Yeah, I do. Right here. Check it out. I'll show it to you. Right here. It's all built into Discord. TradingView puts my alert right there. Filled SoFi. And Sergio closed it out. DE closed it out. So that's pretty cool. Building something new, something fun. And there's the DE alert right there. So that was the game over on. That's what I meant, game over on SoFi. Because it was a trade I got into yesterday. And it worked out. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Let's go look at DE real quick. Oh, right up to the target. I've actually got a target a little bit higher. See if I get fill. I'm gonna have to go because I'm gonna got all these trades that are working. I'm gonna have to go close them out. Looks like. So I'll finish up this, wrap up the list here. I've got a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna have to quit blabbing, quit rambling. FI, nice pop. That high, that low. Be back with you at 5 p.m. for requests. So if we close up in this zone, looks like odds are we're going off 163. NVS. Looks like. Man, I don't like it. Pharmaceutical. I'm just not a fan of this chart, but possible that we break back above this 103 area and head on up to 113, 119. It's hard on things that have the FDA involved because they can just do their own thing when a drug is approved, denied, removed from the market, whatever, and all of a sudden has side effects. D-Dog probably gonna reach down and touch that roadmap line, even though we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like a crap ton of candles right there. It may just turn in this area until such time as it can touch the roadmap line. That may mean this thing has to come on up like this to a point where we can touch. So I don't expect that to get going. And here's the resistance, here's the support. And D-Dog probably stay in between until we break one of those. FSLR potentially coming up here to this area. Then we'll probably retrace the roadmap line. Looks like we're reacting positively off of the Biden administration, more financing of, look at that, beautiful. Yes, continuing higher. Looks like the reversal is working. Biden administration, more financing on solar projects. The GX, Quest Diagnostics. Oh, there's like one of these. There's a lab like right across the street. For these guys. And more medtech stuff, but they do services to healthcare. They do testing, like blood testing, pee testing, all that sort of testing, and kind of rejecting the 618 at this point, which may result in a move down. That would be the target down here if we bust on down. Caution on that one. And yeah, Wrongover is upset because he missed the SoFi yesterday. Dun, dun, dun. Maybe. AMD sitting at the roadmap line. Now, let's just clean this up a little bit. There's a lot of stuff going on. The simple chart right here. If we turn back higher, break back up here, we're going likely to go up here. Now, big if this was a 5-wave up that completed with a crazy 5th wave, that puts the support on down here, and we're going to have to turn on the log mode because this is way big moves. Could put us back down into this zone right in here. So there you go. And, you know, putting in log mode stretches the target up to 256. So 191 kind of activates 256 up here. If we hang out and get below this roadmap line, this is the target zone down here. So at this point, there's no high probability anything. This is the kind of no man's land for AMD right here. No clear path forward. As long as we're in this, we're in support. We're below resistance. If we get below the support's down here. If we get above resistance, target's up here. That's how clear it is right now for me. And there's no high probability. Like, if you could buy now, but you better be willing to bail because we could see a bigger retrace. And that would put it in the neighborhood of this consolidation before this final pop. That would be the ideal place to go find support before another bigger move. And if we do that one, then it sets up a much bigger potential move. Possibly ridiculously up here around 550. Right up in that zone. But we got to come down here first. So, dun dun dun. USD almost back to the roadmap line. Beautiful. I talked about that so long on all these semiconductor ETFs. Look at this. That one tagged. This one's a little short. So close. All of them. I mean, I said it for weeks. Now they're all back down there. Now they're opportunity to go higher again. ARM. Oh my gosh, so close. You got to be bleeping me. You got to be bullshitting me. If that doesn't, go ahead and finish that up. Come on. Just so close. So close. That's got to finish that up. It's got to do it. GM, nice pop on earnings here. This morning, beating on the top, beating on the bottom. Apparently giving up on electric cars, at least rolling back. Good for the bottom line. Potentially going higher. How much higher could you go? So this is one you got to play it a little different way. We can use the fibs, but this is more of an echo right there. See that move right there? See that move right there? So what can this result in? Move like this. Right off that low. GM could be heading up to this 50 area right up here. And yeah, that could take us out in well into the summer, possibly the fall, before we did that. FUTU, it's the fib stuff. It's just drawn way simpler. We're just using lines. So FUTU, just kind of churning here, not breaking out, not breaking down. Support down here, resistance up here, and we're just in the middle in no man's land. And decliners, MSCI, woo, baby. Woo. House right off the, oh, man. All right, so something bigger is playing out here. And right in the support. If we don't hold this zone, 330 may be in the cards. Here's the zone. We get below that. Same pattern, roadmap line upside down. Down there. CDNS. I don't know. SoFi is not on the list. I'm not. We can talk about it this evening. CDNS right here is a potential roadmap line bounce. NU. I should just draw it real quick. That high, that low. Entry a bit above 310. Target 341. NU. Support right there. Another potential roadmap bounce. That high, that low. If you're term right trading lab, we can talk about it after I get done off of here in the chat. Break above 193, possibly 210. And there you go. SHW. The SoFi pattern was this same pattern on a 30-minute time frame. I'm working on experimental stuff, building a new scanner tool thing, possibly make that available in a few months. But it works. SHW, Sherwin-Williams, break above the 328, possibly 363. SMPS. Oh, look at all these roadmap line bounces. It's like a target-rich environment right here. Beautiful. Move up through 584, possibly 665. Calex is going for the 26 target down here. TM coming back down toward the roadmap line. UPS, we already kind of discussed. That could be a bottom. Roadmap line is a resistance. Support, like we kind of have this watermelon seed squeeze thing cooking. When we look at it right here, got that uptrend of lows, downtrend of highs, and we're just filling this out. That's not necessarily bullish or bearish. It's unclear. Affirm. That one. So I can make a case where we would come on further down right here. And I make a case that we could bounce off the roadmap line and go higher up to 60. So there's your potential to get up here, but we got to get above that resistance first, and potential to go down here if we go down further. Xerox taking a giant dump, and it's just consolidating at the lows. That's for the economy being nice and strong, or whatever Biden wants to claim. Xerox not, I guess we're not making copies like we used to, and kind of indicates the machinery for making copies not exactly bullish. PPLT, that's I guess it's kind of a dying industry. It reminds me of I can't remember, Kodak, K-O-D-A. K-O-D-K. Right. Reminds me of this one. Used to sell tons of film, and apparently film's becoming more popular again, but their stock chart not. PPLT, physical platinum ETF, is not tradable. Rio, also not tradable, kind of in this watermelon seed squeeze thing for a good long time. Not really going anywhere. We break out, we could go higher, break down, could go lower, but the expectation we just consolidate further, possibly out the rest of the year. And like I said, 5 p.m., come see me this evening, and the bias for the day. Bias for the day. I did launch a new gold thing yesterday. Anybody jump on that? It's not Termite Trading Lab. That trade potentially going to kick off this afternoon. I mean, tomorrow afternoon, excuse me. Tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday, tomorrow afternoon. So S&P pushing up through here, possibly going to go higher. And go revisit the numbers. Flash manufacturing came in light. Flash services came in strong. No real surprises. Still showing weakness on manufacturing. And strength on services. There you go. Have a great day, everybody. I'll be back 5 p.m. Set your alarm, set your alert, click the button with the notification doodad. And there's only 94 people left on the stream, so I'll see you this evening. Bye for now.